The 1960s gave us many iconic things. The Beatles, colour TV, and we put a man on the moon for the first time ever. Oh, and they also give us some of these. Instant noodles. Genius invention, by the way. Oh, and they also give us that. This is the first ever Ford Mustang, born in 1964, and this thing kickstarted the whole muscle car thing. Some say the first muscle car was the Oldsmobile Rocket 88, which came in 1949. Then some people also say it's the Pontiac GTO. But then, in 1964, Ford thought it's our turn to take a whole shot of the big V8 up front thing. Now the Mustang wasn't trying to be anything special. It wasn't trying to be the loudest and it wasn't trying to be the biggest. No, Ford thought they'd build a car smaller and lighter than before and something that even looked fast when parked up, like now. And people went absolutely crazy for this car. Ford set themselves a target to sell 100,000 units within its first year. That was a big ask. The thing is though, they sold 400,000. An icon was born. When the Mustang hit the streets in 1964, it wasn't just a car, it was an event. Ford had created something that looked like a Ferrari and cost less than a Chevy. Even if you were just a bloke from Birmingham, you could buy one. It wasn't just car buyers who fell in love with the Mustang. Celebrities did too. Steve McQueen turned it into a Hollywood legend. Jim Morrison had one parked outside his house, and even John Lennon got behind the wheel of America's new favourite car. But 60 years later, does this car still have the same magic it did 60 years ago? Well, let's find out. You know, for a car that's 60 years old, it's so cool. I mean, look at this. The steering wheel is so thin, and it's got a proper V8 under the bonnet, or shall I say, under the hood. And it gives you a soundtrack where you just want to put your left arm out the window and put your sunglasses on. And the fact that so many legends sat here where I am right now and have the same driving experience as I'm feeling right now, it's so cool, so iconic. Carroll Shelby once sat here and thought, nah, this needs way more power, and the rest is history. And this car is not fast by any means. A modern hot hatch would easily destroy it, but that's not the point about this car. It's about feeling, and a lot of people get confused about American muscle cars. They're not about numbers, they're about the feeling they give you. That long bonnet, all the chrome going on, that V8, the way people look at you when they drive past you. It's a feel good about yourself car. It's definitely got that movie vibe feeling. And speaking of movies, this thing stared in Bullet, Gone in 60 Seconds. It was the car to have. And the handling. Well, let's just say precision wasn't this car's priority in 1964. Floaty is definitely the word to describe this car. And the brakes, when you depress the brakes, you've got to go and visit a church on the way and pray that you're going to come to a stop. And if you turn too quickly, it feels like you're driving a boat. You've definitely got to have your wits about you when driving this car, because you're constantly correcting the steering. But you know what? None of that matters, because it's so damn cool. Driving it in a straight line is where this car works. This car wasn't designed for Europe. It was made for America, which has a lot of straight roads. And then there's the V8. It's got around 270 horsepower, and it sounds like this. America! Listen to it. Freedom! That's the sound of American freedom. So is this the best car I've ever driven? No. Is it the most exciting car I've ever driven? No. But would I have one in my garage? Hell yes. And that's where this car stands out. It's just the presence it gives off. It's just so cool. But it's probably been one of the cars I've been most excited about to do a video on. Right, so the interior is basically just a massive thin steering wheel, and a speedometer. Oh, and some switches which may or may not work. No screens, no driver modes, and no annoying beeps every time you go near a white line. Just a car. Now, if someone was to ask me where would my dream place be to drive this car, right now, if they were to teleport me somewhere, where would I go? Daytona Beach in Florida, or Santa Monica or Malibu in Los Angeles. Mind you, that's all burnt down now, never mind. Actually, I'll tell you where I'd go. Nashville, Tennessee, blasting out the country music. Yes, and I'd like to know where you'd drive this car, so let me know in the comments, please do. The best part about the Mustang is that it wasn't crazy expensive for a sports car. Back in 1964, the base price of the Mustang was $2,368. In today's money, that's about $23,000, and it was much cheaper at the time than the Corvette and Thunderbird. And if you want to buy a Mustang today, especially this one, well, guess what? It is for sale at the time of filming, so get in touch with us if you want more information. Ford also offered you a variety of different engines in the Mustang. They offered you a 2.8 litre inline-six engine with 100 horsepower. You could also get a 4.3 litre V8 engine with 164 horsepower. And then comes this, the range-topping Hypo 289 engine. And it's a 4.7 litre V8 naturally aspirated. And this produces, well, it did produce 271 horsepower in 1966. It's probably lost a few horses since then. Now, we cannot forget that the Mustang would not have become a proper performance car if it wasn't for the Shelby GT350. Howard Shelby saw the potential of the Mustang and thought, let's make this thing a true race car. And he did. With 306 horsepower and racing stripes, the Shelby GT350 instantly turned the Mustang into a performance icon. And here we are today, 60 years on, driving this icon, and it's still carrying on that legacy. It's still cool, it's still turning heads, it's still powerful, and it's still making the driver feel $1 million. And the Mustang wasn't just a car, it became part of the American culture. It was from a time where car companies weren't just making products, they created symbols. The Mustang was as American as apple pie. A true blue-collar employee could aspire to own one. And this set the tone for every other Mustang which came after this. Same philosophy, long front bonnet, rear-wheel drive, naturally aspirated V8, and questionable handling. And driving one of these cars today has been one of my most memorable moments whilst doing all this YouTube reviews and TikTok stuff. So, it's... It's a nice feeling today. It's so cool to be behind the wheel of one of these, and that's all thanks to Dan and his dad. So huge appreciation to you guys. Thank you very much, and also thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it and got a bit of the essence of what a proper Mustang is like. What a car, what an icon, what an icon. So please leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, and we will see you soon. Thanks guys, bye bye.